Joining me now is Layla Elabed, a co-founder of the Uncommitted national movement, to talk more about this. Layla, you did hear from the vice president last night. She did speak about this issue during your speech. Has your opinion about how she would handle the war in Gaza changed?
No, it hasn't changed because, in all honesty, everything that she said is something that we already heard from President Biden. So actually, we haven't seen how she's going to change her policy that is going to be any different from President Biden's unpopular and immoral Gaza policy.
So what would you have wanted to hear then?
What we would have wanted to hear is how she's going to, how she would have addressed the majority of Democrats who want to see a permanent and immediate ceasefire and want to see conditions on military funding to Israel. How can we have a ceasefire realized if we continue to provide the fire?
So she did specifically say that she wants a ceasefire. The White House has been touting her involvement in these diplomatic efforts. Most recently, she was on the White House call with Prime Minister Netanyahu. So I guess what I hear you saying is that it's not just enough to call for a ceasefire. You also want to end the funding the United States is providing to Israel. Is that correct?
Yes, 100%. We continue to send a flow of weapons transfers and weapons funding to Benjamin Netanyahu and his far right-wing government, who continues to be emboldened to drop thousands of bombs on innocent men, women, and children, violating our own international and American laws.
So now that the convention has ended, what is the plan now for the Uncommitted movement? How do you plan on making sure that your voices are continued to be heard by the Harris campaign?
We are going to continue growing our movement because our movement is representative of the majority of Democrats. 86% of the Biden-Harris camp want to see a permanent and immediate ceasefire. So our movement is speaking to that. And we are going to continue to grow our movement and really force Vice President Harris to listen to the core base of voters that she needs in November.
I understand that you wish that Vice President Harris would go further than where she currently has as it relates to her position in the Middle East. But it is a far cry from where Donald Trump is on this issue. And an election is ultimately a binary choice. Is there a chance that you personally or your movement will not vote for anyone in November? Is Donald Trump an option? What choices will you have ultimately when it comes to Election Day?
Donald Trump is 100% not an option. This is a movement that was created through the vehicle of the Democratic Party because we are all Democrats. We wanted our voices to be heard at the Democratic National Convention, and I think in many ways our voices were heard at the convention, and we will continue to amplify the voices of Palestinians, and we will continue mobilizing Democratic voters who are aligned with our demands. And there's a number of down-ballot races that are on the Democratic ballot, but also we will continue to grow our movement of Democratic voters to force Vice President Harris to listen to the core constituents of her base, of the voters that she needs in November.
Are you saying then that if you feel that that message isn't getting through or she doesn't provide the substantive policy changes that you're looking for, that perhaps she won't have your vote?
I think that is completely up to Vice President Harris if she's going to decide to make the mistake to continue alienating her core base.
Do you think
it is up to a?
You think that's what she's doing now? I just want to be clear about that. You think she's alienating the base right now?
I think she is alienating the majority of Democrats who want to see a policy shift, that want Vice President Harris to turn a page away from Biden's current disastrous policy that forced him to exit the race.
Okay, Layla Elabed, we're going to have to leave it there. Thank you so much for your time. We appreciate it.
Thanks for watching. Stay updated about breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or follow us on social media.